thanks, and thanks everybody for being here. I'm delighted to be here to talk about this issue, but also to talk about Insight, and to thank you for showing up today, and importantly to Insight for helping to encourage those of us on the Republican side to expand our ranks and be more inclusive, and that's why I'm a vice chair of Insight, and I appreciate JC in particular because he's been a longtime friend. Just to get him back in the Capitol is hard enough because he's kind of enjoying his private sector life, but he wants to contribute and give back, and so I'm grateful to you for that, JC. As a fiscal conservative, I think this makes all the sense in the world. Why? I mean, we're paying about $25,000 on average to incarcerate people, and according to the latest statistics, about 2/3 of the folks who come out are rearrested within 2 or 3 years. How does that make any sense if you're a fiscal conservative? Instead of, as was mentioned earlier, having people come out and get the mental health treatment they need and the substance abuse treatment and job training and help to be able to reintegrate into society to become productive members of society. So I think as a fiscal conservative, this is an issue that I'm very comfortable with, and I hope that as you're out talking to people about this reauthorization, you will make these points, that this makes all the sense in the world for somebody who is concerned about, one, how we deal with the budget, but two, how we deal with our communities. The other issue that sometimes gets lost in this is think of the impact on families and communities in terms of these crimes that are committed in this revolving door that's currently occurring. The final thing I just want to say today is, you know, sometimes up here it's hard to look at something and say, guys, this was a bipartisan effort. This was truly bipartisan, continues to be. But second, one that's making a difference. And I will tell you, having just been back in Ohio talking to people who are involved in this issue, we're making a difference. And I'm not suggesting that the Second Chance Act is the only reason, although these grants have been very helpful because they've created a lot of framework, a lot of infrastructure in the states, because you have to have a reentry task force to access it and so on, and that's helped generate a lot of this interest. And then the specific funding, particularly with the match coming from the state and local level and some private sector matching, has been very helpful. Ohio has been aggressive, partly because of our governor and legislature taking this issue up, partly because of the Second Chance Act, and partly just because communities are getting it and getting involved. So our recidivism rate is now 31%. That's still too high, but it's the lowest it's been since 1991. It also involves the private sector and the faith community and law enforcement and the media and business leaders. One thing I've done back home is pulled together business leaders who haven't been involved in this issue and to say, here, listen to this testimony from employers who have hired ex-offenders.